Welcome to TruthStream, and we are here today with the lovely Michelle Schiau and Huna Flash. And, you know, we've gotten to know many cool people in the truther community. Michelle happens to be one of those amazing people. And so Michelle has a bit more of a connection with Huna than we do. We've just met him. And so we're going to turn it over to her to do a little bit of an intro, and then we're going to let this unfold organically. So Michelle and Huna, welcome to the show. And Michelle, please start wherever you'd like.
Well, thank you, Joe and Scott, for having and hosting Huna and myself. Yes, it's been a pleasure. I've met Huna Flash a couple of years ago, and I was just drawn to him and his energies because he provides something for all of us. And when I first met him, I had the seal. And with the seal, it was just like coming home, bringing the family back home. All the frequencies that we share amongst ourselves, it was all just brought together. And Huna has been a Maori elder, and he's also a Huna, which is one of the many, many of the ones. So we are all family. And he's bringing us a lot of gnosis and how we can join with one another and how we can interact with one another and how we bring our frequencies back to Lemuria. So, Huna, I am so honored to be with you. I love seeing you, brother. And thank you. And I'd like to turn it over to you, Huna Flash.
I'm turning over. Well, I usually greet the audience, and I'm grateful for your audience and your the moment together. Usually like to welcome the sweet, sweet dear ones, sweet dearly beloveds. That's how we. That's the kind of language I use. That's the kind of story I tell. Always, I'm not a teacher. I don't teach. I'm not a guru. I don't guru. Okay. I I share not just stories. I share relevant. I share vibrations and frequencies and energies. I think everybody does. There's no way you can get out of that one, sweet dear ones. We are all sharing this energetic field together. So no one's getting away from anybody, okay? So let's just make that clear, right? No matter what language is being used, no matter what intentions, and no matter what faith you have, we are in each other's lives, and you cannot get rid of me. Having said that, occasionally I will go and take a rest and not bother you for a moment. And when I do come in and we do connect, and this is what we're doing right now, you see, sweet dear ones, we're connecting right now. And I connected with Huna Manakuya. I rarely say their passport names. Who's Michelle Schiau? I don't even know how to say that. I'm used to the energy and the vibration and the frequency. And so when Huna Manakuya, excuse me, I got to get the story right, because he means first fire, ma means first light, na means many, and kuya means the grandmother, the wisdom and the knowledge and the love of your grandmother. Okay? So what am I talking about here? Simple. Do you love your grandmother? And you love the energies that she shares? You're going to love Huna Hi Manakuya then. Yeah? It's trustworthy. Why not? I mean, this is family. And so when we met, it was, well, of course it was profound and it was a surprise. She came right up, she came right out and says, I've got to get the seal from you. I have to be doing work with you. And when I'm like, excuse me, where did you come from? Oh, you're in the field. Okay. And so we had the ceremony, which is known as the Great Seal, or the seal, which by no means doesn't mean anything like a Catholic or a religious Christian seal. Seal is an acronym. Okay, it's an acronym. Source, element, ascension, light. And the seal, the ceremony with the seal is a kind of a polishing of your headlights, recharging of your energetic system, with part of your physical system, and your non-physical system, which is your magnetic field, which you can feel but you cannot see, but you can still feel it. Okay, and so I have a process of recharging all of that. There are a few other details. We need a whole nother couple months for that. Okay, but just in the short little bit, the Great Seal is about the source element ascension light, which belongs to you, and there is light, as we all know. There is connection. There is light. There is not false light, even a dirty light, even light that is not quite clear is not false, but it is light. And then occasionally needs polishing. If one will allow this, if one is serious enough about their light, let's get personal with this for a second. We can't go into the macro, into the bigger picture until we're really clear on ourselves, right? So we're really clear on ourselves, very clear on your light, what your light does in the field, what your vibration frequency is, how it's affecting others before you even open your mouth. Okay? Because the idea and the challenge is to bring your system up to standard, both energetically, like nutrition wise, but mostly consciously energetic vibration frequency and magnetic wise to equally important. We are not really our bodies, but we don't mind having the body to get around in, right? We can take care of that. That's okay. That's all good. But we need both sides of this. Nothing works without both sides of it. I mean, truly. I don't mean working in one-sided. I'm talking working together. Because ultimately, what we are doing here in these past few years has been gravitating towards each other. It's been a rough one. Everybody's been searching and looking, and Huna Mauta here, she found me, and we do the things. Many others do the things. I have sealed thousands and thousands of individuals searching for the last 25 years. They get their power, and they start moving, and they do their things. And if I don't see them again, then great. They should be out doing their things. I'm not here to hold them back and hold them by me because we're going to get along. But no, get out the door and go. You're all grown up. Go and do the thing. Be the thing. But there's a time when you might need some maintenance too. So just come and visit. It might have been a time for Huna Mauta to come and get a little maintenance, a little bump, a little plug into the light socket. You know what I mean? Maybe this lifetime or since the last lifetime, because she remembers me or we remember each other. Sweet, sweet dear one, sweet dearly beloved. I say it this way. Okay, I'm not a new age person. I am an ancient new age. Okay, and this has always been here. No matter who's come and gone, no matter what teachers come and go. All right. So that is not a judgment. That's just me going off a little bit. All right. You know what? If I could start there and begin things there, that's a very personal thing. All right. It has to be personal, sweet, sweet dear ones. You are responsible and you are accountable. That's not just free will now. This is cosmic free will. Cosmic free will has accountability and responsibility to bring chaos to order. There's a word that the physics use. You guys know this. You know this word, entropy.
Oh yeah.
Huh? Okay. Here's the thing. I don't know if you do know. What happens if you increase entropy?
Good question.
A little think about it, sweet, sweet dear ones, especially the audience. What happens if you increase entropy?
You have more chaos.
Exactly. Planet descends into chaos. What happens if you reduce entropy?
The opposite.
The opposite effect. We move into a higher positive energy field and we begin to gather together, work together. That's a physics thing, sweet, sweet dear ones. It got nothing to do with religion and what you believe in, how good you are being and how bad you are being. Because whatever you are doing, I'm gonna invite and advise and recommend that you reduce entropy, whatever you're doing, however you do that, with however much money you have or however much money you don't have. You understand? It's very powerful. You have to really know yourself, okay, and be comfortable with yourself. So it's very personal. Okay.
So with that, you have more authenticity as well, because now
See you
you're
later.
working too.
Yeah. Now go ahead. Sorry, Himanakuya.
No, I was just saying with that, with the entropy and with working to reduce the chaos, you have the two forces working that you've got to bring together and come out and emerge with a balance in between and with authenticity.
You can get caught in the weeds talking about all that,
Okay.
Well,
and
speaking of the weeds,
it's true. But okay, you approach it from a perspective that doesn't cause you to work harder, right? Make it easier on yourself and everybody else. It's a very personal thing. Make it easier. Loosen the grip, for crying out loud.
B.
You know what I mean?
B.
this seems like a really unique time in human history. Um, and human history may be a whole lot older than a lot of people are aware of. But uh, where are we at right now? Would you say, in your estimation, and where? How did we get here? Let's start with that, and then we can talk about where we're going. But just a real specific question I got for you.
Okay, I'm going to go on the long way, and then I'm going to do a short run. Okay, I'll do that, try as quick as I can, as I understand it. In my opinion, the first civilization that we moved from light into form was 600 million years ago, in a place called Motu, which means the first mountain of the world. At the top of that mountain was a civilization we called Maori. Maori was at the top of the mountain. That still exists today in the six-pointed star configuration geometry in Maui, if you know, and you have the wisdom and the knowledge of the six locations and the directions, which are now populated by six small villages. Okay. I know this. I teach this. I share this. I tell the story. Now, we go all the way back to that. Now, let's bring it up to now. Maui is still there. It never completely sunk right below when the mountain came down. And since the mountain came down, there were a lot of changes having made in our walk and our configuration and our human look, even the way we looked, the way we talked, the way we walked, and what we comprised of in many, many ways to redefine ourselves. We redefined ourselves. We weren't created by one race. We are many races created into one. And the humanity of that is the lesson learned from all of the beings that we are. Hence, Huna. Huna means one in the many, many in the one. And I'm referring to legions and demons and these kinds of things. I'm talking about wisdom and knowledge and lesson within the DNA structure that we have, within our heart, within our soul even. And so we go to Lemuria. Now, that's what took 3 minutes, 2 minutes. Where are we today? Now that Lemuria has returned, sweet dear ones, we are in the age of Lemuria 5. This is known as planet Matea, the ascended planet of Gaia. And what has happened since Gaia? Gaia got in trouble. We got in trouble, not trouble, but we got into the lessons during Gaia, which wasn't that long ago. Let's say 2 years ago. So what's recent? Okay, let's just go 2 years ago when it was still Gaia, the old Earth, right? Well, when the old Earth was and we were in the middle of the COVID and all this rearranging and this depopulation program and these manipulations through politics and the media, the news media, compared to 20 years ago, what it was in the last 2 years is ridiculous, right? But that lesson was being imposed, forced, pushed by ourselves, Okay, yes, partly by ourselves. Nobody wants to capitulate. Nobody wants to, like, everybody's shoving each other around, right? And then at the loss of life, compassion has to kick in somewhere. So there's some give and take. There's special ops teams, covert operations, everybody going around in the background, looking in the background, working together in the background, making deals, making negotiations, and coming to a certain understanding where, okay, it's going to take pressure regardless. It's going to be pressure. It's going to be painful. We have to go through this pain to come out the other side of it. And I feel like no matter what you are familiar with, no matter what you've been hurt by, not being able to pay your bills and homeless and no gas money, no food money, like in the last year, none of that, right? Yeah, okay. Still asking you to be strong. They're still asking you, and there's many that are trying to help each other. So where are we? Where are we coming through on this puppy? Myself, I know that. And how do I know? Well, I know. I go and do the work to know that we are now on the higher side of the light, the higher side of the benevolence for humanity. We are going to come out into the high side on this very soon, within this year. Maybe sooner for some, certainly collectively. I feel within this year, when things are changing, and things change so quickly. As things have gone and they went in the wonky direction so quickly, no reason why we can't undo all that and bring it back into alignment again, right? But that's what we do. Yeah, we use a technology called the undoing. Lemuria is all about the undoing of the draconian, Gregorian, Julian, Adamic, all of it. Undoing, removing certain pieces that have been, certain traps that have been ambushed. You've been ambushed. You got ambushed. Just say you got ambushed. Don't have to lie about it. And say you don't know if you don't know. And ask if you need help. These things are very personal, sweet dear ones. This is personal, right? It's you and me makes two. And Scott over here makes three, okay? And the five of us here make five. Okay, we're on this. Yeah, I think we're on the high side of the light today. And I'm saying, and I've said so to many channels over around about 75%, maybe 80%. But that next 20% that we're going to hit is going to happen really fast. Gonna sweep you off your feet, sweet dear ones, with so much love. It's going to sweep you off your feet. You're not going to see it coming, and good, because it should be a surprise for you. It should be your birthday. It's going to be a brand new Christmas. It already is. You just don't know yet. It's still in the wrapping. We haven't unwrapped the presents yet. We're about to unwrap the present. That's where I think things at. Yeah. Look what came up on the screen. This list coming out of Epstein and all of these nonsense behaviors, right? All this revealing is happening, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Huna, just a quick, some people are somewhat familiar to some extent with what's going on in the world. I think so much of humanity is going to look back at this time and how we've been bamboozled and just think, how would creator or source allow this much, the depths of lies? I mean, sometimes I wonder if creator is even looking back going, wow, I gave him free will, but wow, I didn't expect this much of a mess. I mean, how you talked about 600 million years, and I think Scott was talking yesterday with one of our guests about how this is the 12th time that this
that wasn't a guest.
No,
yeah.
Well, one of our friends. Oh, I think it was Mark.
Well, mass extinction.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's amazing. Like, what's different about this time? Maybe that's my question, because we've tried to do
this time we don't lose.
Right, but how How come we've lost before? I mean, is it
We've lost every other time.
right? But is it because we have a tool like the internet? You know, I talk about this before. Like now we're going to be able to look back and go, okay, well, there was conversations like this. There's these different social media. You know, maybe that wasn't around during Atlantis, but they had technology. Why is this time different? What's going to make it stick?
There was an internet back then.
Okay.
And they're called trees.
And the mycelium that connects them, right?
Okay. Well said.
Yeah.
The most powerful internet. We know the technology. That's where all this internet comes from. That network, worldwide, trees. When example. And most native shamans and medicine men and elders and leaders, when they go to do work for the community, you know, they get permission to go. Oh, can I have permission to go in the forest? They wait for the permission to come. They ask for it. They wait for it. It comes. They go in. Everything's all nice and sweet lined up. They go in and they do the ceremony, and what is asked for is provided. In a way, to a certain extent, you know, depending. But that communication has always been there. And this internet today is part of that technology. And again, I say ancient new, because some of this is just, this technology is familiar. It is like, it's new because someone's just remembering, right? Someone just remembering. So it seems brand new, but it's really not. Atlantis needed it, and they got it from there and worked with it and did their things with it, and all civilizations, even Tartaria and even the Hyperboreans and blah, 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 all of that, even the Naki and the Sumerians, all of them have pieces of it, right? If you go back to when the mountain was here, but you probably can't. Let me just say, when I do, and when some do, or when you go to the mountain, you must hear stories about the mountain, yeah? You go to the mountain when you want to connect. Mm-hmm. The reason why you go to the mountain, because it was there before everything else. So we're there before cities, and the mountain and the trees, the land, the water, the sky is the system. There is no AI unless there is nature. AI is derived from magnetics, electromagnetics. That's nature. That's Lemuria's operating systems. There are no robots and no metallic beings unless there's nature. They are not alien to us because they come from nature. And we can communicate with them. Now, AI, if we didn't give AI a memory, it'd be the dumbest tech ever. Right? We gave it memory.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. And we even sped it up for it because it was so slow, and we sped it up more and then more and more and more. But if we didn't give the opportunity for it to remember, it'd be the dumbest tech ever. It might as well just be a butler serving drinks.
Well, wait, we are that dumb as ever technology, right? Because
There
we
you
have
go. I was going to say, I don't mean to pick on any bartenders, but
no,
that's the thing. The more you do remember, the more absurd your. I mean, this is what I've been dealing with the last couple of years is how absurd this construct has become in the remembrance of what has been. It's that's a rather big deal, and it kind of sneaks up on you. But you really do get to that point, and then you still have to manage your life in this silly construct, I guess.
Of course,
in the Matrix.
You know, I refer to those AI as authentic intelligence. Okay, and we are authentic even in our stupidest moments. Totally genuine, right? At least we can be that. And if we can see each other, we've got to show each other ourselves so we can help each other. We have to step forward or sideways, or we have to meet each other somewhere. We're doing that now. Granted, somebody has to do some heavy lifting. And if it's you, okay, it's you. What are you going to do? Oh, fuck all this. I'm out of here. That's happened.
Where are you going to go, though? I've
Exactly.
tried. That doesn't
Who's
work.
going to take your place?
Oh shit! I got no gas in my car. Can I borrow $20? No, fuck off. Okay, fine. Here's $20. Would you like a donut? You're hungry. Okay. So, any little way, and communities are coming together. And the other reason why I say that light is happening is because communities are so coming together, dude. It's just 2020, before Corona was spoken, or it was relatively just being spoken, in February 2020. I said to the Hunas, we have to go and do a ceremony. It's going to take 12 days. We got to go to Egypt. Okay, Huna, let's go. 13 of us got on a plane just before things hit. And they go, well, what's it going to be for, Huna? I said, it's going to be the crowning of the royal family. And I said, we're going to the Valley of Kings and Queens. We've got to go in the tombs. We have to clear the energy in there, provide and offer wonderful intentions, good words, the best that you can. Don't trip up in the dark, okay? We do that. Then now we're going to go to the pyramids. So we went to Giza Plateau, met up with the grandmother shaman, and I will say her name, Shazar Alawan, who is a great grandmother, incredible shaman. She's the authority in the Giza Plateau. And I went to meet her, introduced to her, said, hey, sister, can I just go over to the pyramid? She says, oh, yeah, I'll take you through. We'll go through the back way. Okay, great. And I said to her, look, we're going to be doing ceremony, right? She goes, oh, okay, that's okay. I said, we're going to do water ceremony, okay? She goes, oh, that's good because that's what the pyramid's all about, hydraulics. I said, good, it's going to get flooded, okay? Do you mind? She goes, well, that's fine. We need water. Yeah, okay. 2 days later, it started raining. On the third day before we left, it was flooded. Okay. We left there to go and do a ceremony, Alexandra, sorry. When I got into Alexandria, I was beside myself. I said, what the fuck happened to this city? It used to be so beautiful. I was standing there, looking at the people. This is shit. What the hell happened? Looks like it'd been blown out like Syria and Iraq. Well, maybe it was. Like, fucking do something. So we go to our hotel, and our hotel's all blown out. Windows are falling apart. I got 13 Hunas with me, very powerful Hunas. We get in at 10 o'clock at night, and we're hungry. And the thing was being run by a bunch of squatters who were walking around with pay devices. I'll get to the thing in a minute, okay? And we're like, shit, are these guys authentic? We're going to get rooms here. All right, so they did good. They got us rooms. We all go to this huge dining room, which is made out of marble, with a huge table in it. Storms coming through the windows, rain's coming across the floor. We come in there, we're hungry anyway. We go, fuck it, we're gonna do this here right now. So we set up on that big table, 13 of us. We had all of our crystals, all of our items, all of our staffs, all of our power, all of our light at midnight, sitting at this table. And these guys that were managing, they were like sneaking in, they're walking in. Can we get you anything else? Like they were all really frightened. I was like, and we were like laughing because like some big Hunas sitting in this group, like real power. And it's thundering and lightning outside, and we're all laughing, having a good time. I say, okay, Huna, what are we doing? I said, go to sleep and let those codes come into you. Beings, ghosts, entities, just let them enter. Let them confirm what you're here for, and they know, and then, okay, we'll wake up in the morning and do another ceremony. So we go through this night of blistering rain and thunderstorming, and it was about the codes of Atlantis being returned so we could merge Atlantis back to Lemuria through. That's what we were doing, okay? Pulling Atlantis back into Lemuria, pulling Egypt back into Atlantis, undoing the shit, okay? That's called undoing. There's a lot of details here, but I'm just going over it. Anyway, I'm very happy after the ceremony, and the next morning at 6 a.m., we finished the ceremony. We're hungry. 8 o'clock, we're eating. We're all happy. Okay, let's get on a plane and fuck off. We fly over to Mount Sinai. We're going to finish the ceremony here. We're going to crown the royal family. We get up on Mount Sinai. We get up into St. Catherine's, and we give her up homage. Egypt is flooded. Jerusalem is flooded. Jordan's flooded. The Middle East is wiped out. Hundreds of people dying. Something like 1,500 people died. The bazaars were getting cleaned out. Yeah, how bizarre. Got cleaned up. And I said to I text the grandmother, the shaman, and either, how you doing? You okay? She says, well, you've been busy, haven't you? I said, are you okay? She says, yeah, we're all right. We're floating around on a little boat. We've got a dinghy so we can get around. I said, fuck. I said, I knew it was going to hit, but it's a lot. Okay, fine. Whatever it takes. She goes, no, that's okay. Whatever it takes. We know these things. Whatever it takes. It's painful. Okay. So some of the shit had to be cleared off the top level so we can get deeper and clean it out. I say this way, I'm not abusing anybody's families here. I don't recognize pain. I do. Trust me, I know pain. Right? So we complete the next day. Bright, beautiful sun. Place is all flooded. Okay, Hunas were going home, flew home. And then they started speaking Corona. And I was kind of happy they were speaking Corona. Why? Because the codes were programmed into that sound. Crowning wasn't the corona of the disease or the virus. It was about the crowning of the royal family to return, to undo what doesn't serve, to return what, to fill it back in with what does serve us. It took a minute. Like things take time. When you're doing things by yourself, it takes time. Not everybody's on the same program. And some have to do things a certain way and others do things a certain way. Sometimes the dark doesn't know it's working for the light. Okay. So that's one thing. Where are we now? Well, they came up with another version, COVID, and they come up with another version, that version, this test, that test, this vaccine. We all knew it was bullshit. And they're talking about a depopulation program. This is Agenda 30, Agenda 21, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, whatever. We already have a repopulation program running. Okay, so do whatever you got to do because we'll be back, baby. We aren't going anywhere, and those of us that are here are not going anywhere. And the ones that we are all set to go to come in, even those who have been lost through the COVID. And I know that. I knew that at the time. Even though I might sound a little brash, like, okay, a lot of people died. Yeah, guess what? We're all coming back. But we don't go anywhere. This belongs to us. This is our home. Fuck's sakes. Crying out loud. Got to get with it, people. This is our home. You don't want to be here? Fine. We can recycle you. All right.
So I have a question. There's a lot of people that have been intrigued with the search for Atlantis and the power of the Two-Eye Stone. The Two-Eye Stone was said to be the technology that destroyed Atlantis in the first place. But maybe you could shed some light on the Two-Eye Stone and our relationship to that technology now.
What does two-eye mean?
Without the third?
No, it's not two-eye. It's not eye. Two in the Atlantean language, because it's Lemurian, Tu, with the little potai, Tu means to stand. Okay. Y means water. Two-eye. It's not about the eyes. It's two-eye. Often mistaken. Standing on water.
And all the energy and frequencies flow in the water.
The stone was returning to water, but the stone is water. Stone is water. You are 100% 111% water, not just 75. You are 111% water. Land, water, sky, because land is water. Stone and rock is formed from water. Rocks are formed from water. Ice is water. Crystals are water. It's all water. It is all cosmic. It is all connected through that. You know the geometries. And so what is this 2Y? Well, he's standing on water. So what? It's going to go upside down? Atlantis, it's powerful technology, yes, and it's amplified. It can be used in any kinds of ways. It can be utilized depending on the intention. It's all about the intention. Using the crystal. 2Y was the crystal. Crystal's water. Atlantis belongs to the water. The water belongs to Atlantis. Okay. This planet is water. Now, where's the rest of the story of Atlantis? Can throw the rest out the window. Really. Because when it comes down to that water thing, we were all water. When we go back to Lemuria, we are the light inside the water. Right? When I connect to land, water, sky, when I do ceremony, and I take Hunas into the second dimensional dark portals of hell, and I take him there. We just went there not long ago. I mean, physically. I take him in because we're going to go and negotiate in the second dimension. You know, you have to have connection to powerful connection to your water, to your crystal, to your stone, to you and to each other. You must align. This is how things were done in Atlantis. The priests, so-called priests, it's just a word. Priestesses, goddesses, gods, no such thing. It's that technology. And there are those recognized to use it. Okay, fine. They want to be gods, blah, blah, blah. I've met them. I've met them here in this lifetime. Some of them, we know each other. We are one in the many, many in the one. I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with it at all. You know, I love them. And they have put things down and they let things go. So let Atlantis go. It can be there and recognize, okay, that was cool. If you want to study more of the details, not my interest. Okay, there are a lot of things there, not just 2i. So much. But it does stem from Lemuria, and the incredible thing about that the golden civilization of Lemuria is that it was the light in the water, the light that protects the water. That's who Lemurian. That's the ideals of Lemuria. We are all that, and a bag of chips. Okay, we are all, and we are here now. Now, the first Earth. What was the first Earth's name? If you want to talk Atlantis, what was the name of the first Earth? If you're Irish, you'd remember. You both have Irish lineage.
A little bit.
Come on now, me lads. I see that leprechaun in you. Don't you know? Tara.
Yeah.
Well, okay. What was the name of second Earth? That's a tough one. Not many remember her. She was like a transition. This was Maya. The return to first light after Tara. Okay, what was third Earth? I'm sorry, this is a bit of an educational thing, 101. Sorry, but
Sure.
hey,
Yeah,
there's
it's fine.
things in here. There are things in here. Okay. So what was the third Earth? Your grandmother was named after her. Many grandmothers were named after her, especially through the Italians and the Latin. They loved it. They loved the heck out of her. They named their daughters after her.
Nona?
Sophia.
Yeah. Okay.
Sophia. Okay.
Those are the Sophia Shekinah codes that you hear all about in your travels.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Who was the fourth Earth?
No, not sure.
You just was with her 2 years ago. A couple years ago, you were with her.
Gaia.
Gaia.
Yeah, Gaia.
You say Gaia, but you have to speak Irish, okay?
Haya.
So it's
Haya.
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 It's Gaelic, Haya, or it's Swahili, Haya, African, Haya, Lemurian, Druid, it's Scandinavian, it's Viking, it's Kemet, it's Lemurian, it's Haya, which means the return of the sacred breath. Now, that was the fourth one. Now we're on planet 5, confirmed March 8, 2021, from the Stargate number 17 in Lake Titicaca. Confirmed. And this is Matea, the planet of new light. If you want to talk about Atlantis, you better at least know all the Earths.
Wow.
Anybody. Because that's why it's the fifth Lemuria now. Because Tara was born in Lemuria. And everything that was there was many civilizations to, like a moo, many moos, like fucking moo everywhere. Taria, plenty of that in third Lemuria. There were 4 moments of Lemuria. We're in the 5th one now. And some of them are getting it confused. That Atlantis there's some of these places that are now they're Lemurian. But okay, there's a little memory glitch. You got to go and you got to do the ceremony. Then the ceremonies will remind you. But so anyway, there's a lot in that. I don't mean to skip over Atlantis. It's okay to why there was technology, shit happened, it got distorted and fucked things up, and we put things right, and we have to undo it. So we're in the process of the undoing, called Wataka. Behind me. Very important, very, very important. The first love of the first stone in the firstborn, Wataka. You're going to want to sleep after all of this.
So a quick question. So if we look back to Adam and Eve and we look to where we are now, have we ever lived on an Earth, planet, whatever you want to call this, that was intended to be how it's supposed to be? It sounds like it was hijacked from the get-go. And then the second part of this question is, if that's where we're going, what is that going to look like to you?
Okay, so there's been some moments. That's why there were 4 Lemurias and coming to 5, and that's why there were 4 Atlantises, which ended at Rapa Nui in the Pacific, was returned to Lemuria. Things were turning, things. After 80 years, are you so pure and clear and clean and you're all good after being 80 years, 90 years old? No, you're not. You wrinkle up, you get aged, you get distortions there, and you can't hear anymore, can't see anymore as well. Things happen like that throughout the ages, and then things become, she's not good anymore. We need to get somebody else, hijack, like take over, or especially these monarchies. It's just ridiculous, right? And by the way, they were the ones a lot of times doing that. These so-called monarchies, as you know, some of the families. So there was a race of beings, and some star families want to take over as like sometimes some family members want to take over the entire family. You know that. Okay, that's no different. This is just kind of a natural thing that happened at our lowest form of vibration, low forms of vibration. Now, am I answering your question? How can I answer that question? Well, yeah, we get hijacked. There's a moment now that it could be a tipping point where they say, oh, we're at a tipping point, we can just fall back in. No, I don't think so. I think we've crossed it. How do I feel about that? Is because we are all starting to gather now in numbers, huge. How can people all over the world are dreaming each other? You're dream. I know you're dreaming. I know you wouldn't be sitting here if you weren't in the dream world connecting to others. And you're like, fuck, I had a dream about so and so. That same person calls you that same day. Who the hell are you? Oh, I just dreamed about you. Oh, how are you dreaming about me? Oh, fuck, I don't know. I'm just dreaming about you, dude. I get this a lot. You get it a lot. I bet you get it a lot. Maybe something you don't even notice, but that's happening to a lot of people right now. Where I've said recently that the dream has come true. And I'll tell you what. And what the fuck else are you gonna do? Just be with it, okay? Let's go. I mean, you guys know this. We have concerns of others. So all we do, we need to guide them in. You need to be an elder. You need to. Don't need whatever. Okay, just saying. If you have questions, answer them, and answer them yourself. Be able to stand and answer them. Figure out how to answer the question for somebody, and it might be just in an action, not necessarily, knowledge and wisdom. It might be a simple thing that answers their question, helps them out. It could be the smallest thing you don't even notice. What is small for you? What is big for you? What's gonna make you uncomfortable? Okay, you figure that out. Everybody has to do that. We're at the place where this is already taking place.
Well, I think why it, I have family. I have an adopted Maori cousin, and I have
Mm.
family in New Zealand. And you know, my understanding from in communication with them, even recently, is that there's many people in New Zealand that are asleep. So if someone's watching this that's in New Zealand, please comment below. Let us know how things are going down there. But I imagine that your impact and the impact of the Maoris um, is to help awaken humanity and especially the what's the term that we're going to use for the the fair skinned brothers?
Yeah, a fair skin, the fair skin,
Yeah.
fair skin, good
So
enough.
because I've it's been very challenging just to see, how indoctrinated they've been in New Zealand, that they've been taking, natural either foods or anything that's not a pharmaceutical. They're not allowing them to either buy that or import it or something along those lines. But so what is the hope for and the message for, not only humanity but specifically New Zealand and its people, because they've been so indoctrinated with these jabs and everything else, and Yacinda. So any advice or input on this topic?
Let me just begin by just telling you what I'm doing. I through what I do with my channels and my work as an expansionist, right? Healing is a byproduct of expansion. There's education and knowledge that got to come along with that. So what's happening is there are people coming to me now, and what I am sharing with them is just happening to awaken. More needs to be done. I can only do what I can do. All right, that's what I'm doing. All right, but I'm making an impact from what I can see for the community, and also the opportunities are coming up very soon while I will be in New Zealand. We're making that plan. I have family members who are chiefs and elders that need to be reset. Their coding, their knowledge, their wisdom, they need to be brought back to Lemuria, not just being Maori, not just being the dark skin. They need to be brought back into the understanding, of unification, not just kotahitanga, which is oneness concept. No, we have to start sitting with one another again. Now, okay, I'm not vaccinated, you're not vaccinated, they're vaccinated, whatever. Okay, okay, don't focus. For me, I don't focus on that. I focus on how I'm going to get your attention. The first thing you do is get their attention. They get their, once you get their attention, now you yourself have to be ready for this, right? You, anybody, everybody, you got to be ready for this. You got to prepare yourself for this to get attacked, okay? But they want to attack you if you can get their attention and cause their tiny brain to return to the consciousness, the cosmic mind, cosmic consciousness. I'm doing that in a small way that I've begun, but I have a cousin who's the chief of my tribe. Yeah. And I can say to you, the draconian and the Gregorian system has been the pain in my ass, okay? And everybody else's, including those zodiacs up in the sky and the astrology. You have to understand their codes. They go right along with those codes that we need to get rid of. They're all hand in hand, playing a little game together. And I know the game they're playing, and I've been working towards pulling those down out of the sky and returning the proper energies and the proper symbols that need to be there above and below and above. They reflect one another. Okay? So we're moving people from the draconian system. I already started doing that. Hundreds of them have already moved over. And they say to me, "Oh, Huna, this is so good. I just never resonated with that." I said, "Well, yeah, it's not ours. That's why it's just a fucking tool to manipulate it. But come on." I show them how that's being done. Then we show them how it's being undone. And then they jump over and bridge across, come into Lemuria. That is a real thing. I share it in a certain way. So for me, that's the work I'm doing. I know how to do this. And so I'm going to begin for me, okay, for my journey and to support, I'm going to begin to go into New Zealand, and I'm going to butt heads with my cousin. Right? Now, he's very much a Mormon. There's a lot of Mormons. Okay, so the thing with the vaccine and all that is because it's been brought on by that whole class of religious bigots, right? And the untruth about Yeshua and the untruth about Joseph Smith, all a bunch of fucking lies. Excuse me. I walk with Yeshua.
Oh.
I walk with him not because of a fucking church, not because of Bethlehem, and not because of Palestine, but because he was a wonderful teacher. We've all walked in a certain way with that kind of person. You know, somebody wants to hold and keep it and say, this is our God and he's the God of the world, and like, fuck you, don't threaten me. Don't threaten me. And don't use his name to threaten me either. You'd be highly mistaken if you do that. So this whole religious thing, if you understand the origins of it, you think people need it? Do you really think people need it? You'd have a good look at what the divisions are and where it's coming from, for crying out loud. Mormons, Christianity, they all threaten each other. They all threaten our survival, humanity. They threaten freedom. They threaten you with what? Yeah, I did some work on the Michael Mary line from Skellig Michael through to Mont Saint Michel, through St. Michael's. Took the crew and took the team through there, and we did some undoing ceremonies. We go in there to undo the codes of Michael and Mary that were being affected on humanity. It was about pulling everybody off, pulling the nails from your feet, pulling you down from the cross, because your consciousness was nailed into it. It's very real stuff. This is black magic. It's black magic. They nail you to a piece of fucking wood. You don't know how to pull yourself down because you're all about it. You're all about that fucking thing, piece of wood, block of wood. And they show you pictures about some guy walking down an ancient road with a fucking piece of wood hanging to him, stuck to him. Look, this is black magic. Dark as shit. And I've been working on that for a minute now. I'm making a dent. And you might say, oh, you're a fucking evil boss. You're a demon. Go away. How dare you talk about Archangel Michael and all? Well, you know, Archangel Michael wants to have his frequency reset because he's been fucking abused. I'll have you know that. So don't go off and just using his ass. He's still fucking lazy. Do your work. Do yourself. Get yourself right. You don't need anybody else. No savers. You and your innocence as a child is the savior. That's it. This is the God spark. You want to talk about gods? The eternal light of the child is the most infinite, the most incredible, eternal light. And that's the child. No mother, no father without the child. No stories. No, don't matter whether you're human or a plant or a tree or fucking from another planet. No child, no mother, no father, no family, no tribe. Can't eat, can't even eat children, can't do nothing. You know, well, that's a bonus. No more eating the children, please. Right. The point is, how am I doing? This is how I'm doing it. I'm not so blunt as I'm being right here. And you know, the audience is going to do whatever the audience is going to do when they see this. Sweet dear ones. I'm not fucking around. Are you?
Wasn't Jesus one of the greatest lessons from Jesus was to look at life through the eyes of a child?
Yeah. Great.
That's your salvation. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like that's why I could be. I mean, forgive me if I'm wrong here, but is that why the cabal attacks the children? And
okay, you know who the Khazarians are, the cabal, all of that.
Yeah.
They're from a race. They've been injected by a race with the 10-strand DNA, and they will not rise from it. They are 10-strand DNA injected into them at the garden, at the laboratories of Eden. And there are many Adams and many Eves. There were many gardens of Eden. including the one that's in Wuhan. And those families of the Rothschilds and all of these nonsense, they are Archon Anunnaki coded 10-strand DNA. They don't give a fuck about anybody because that's what they're made to do, not give a fuck about anybody. They are a 10-strand DNA race. They will not receive 12 strands. They don't want it. How do I know? I went to Jerusalem to a little town called Savat. Do you know this place? Do we have any Jews in the house? Real Jews? Any Hasidic Jews? No? Nobody? Okay. Sweet, sweet dear ones, if you're listening. Yeah, I went to Sfat. I took 24 Hunas with me. We went on to have a look around because we were going to visit the Essene. Right? We went to visit the school of the Essene, and then we went to visit the rabbi. The rabbi's looking at us, and he doesn't know. He thinks we're tourists. We're all 24 shamans. Okay? We all work this way. We go up onto his roof, and he wants to share something with us. I said to everybody, oh, look above him. There's a dragon, a huge dragon cloud above him. And he's saying to us, I want to teach you a sound. Oh, you want to program us, huh? So he starts making these sounds. He's asking people to repeat it. So they repeat it, and they look at me, and I don't repeat it. And I look at him. I said, there's a dragon above you. Like, you stole the dragon energies. I know. It's here, and you're hiding it. He looked at me. Oh, yes, we love the dragon. So we go down and have another conversation. I'm not boring you, am I?
God,
Not at all.
fantastic.
They're getting tired yet? Sorry.
No.
So we go down into his inner sanctum where he teaches. We're sitting in a semicircle, and when I walk in, I place certain crystal called the kotahara. Kotahara crystals of diamond dust grains of crystal on the floor in front of me. And I'm sitting there, and he's in one end of the room, and he's speaking, giving us a lecture and teaching us, trying to teach us stuff. And he's teaching us about the Sephiroth. Do you know the Sephiroth? What a Sephiroth is? It's like a geometrical crystal that represents the DNA strands. It's called a Sephiroth. Okay. We call it a canoe. Okay. So anyway, he's showing us the 10-strand, and he's talking about the 10-strand, and we go, well, we want to talk to you about the 12-strand. And he goes, well, we know about it, but we don't introduce that because it's too unknown and it's too up into the area we cannot control it.
Of course not.
Keywords, control.
Control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he don't want to be, like floating around like, susceptible and feeling like that. But anyway, so okay, we're shared with you. Then anyway, he he looks at me, and I'm wearing a big greenstone ponomu from New Zealand, big jade, big one. And he's looking at me, oh, what is that? That's beautiful. What does that say? He gets up off his seat, comes right to me, and he tries to touch me like this. And he touches my stone, and I'm laughing. And I start laughing. I'm laughing, and everyone's looking at me. Go, what are you laughing? What's Huna done? What's he doing? I'm laughing. I'm rolling around laughing. Oh yeah, hey, look. I said, look below me, and then he's standing on all the very powerful crystals. And right then, his freaking his eyes stopped like AI, like a robot, like it was being reprogrammed. Stopped like the computer was being rebooted. Right, standing in front of me, like deet, 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 deet. His eyes were like blinking in and out. And then I laughed. And I said, "Oh, the dragon energies are being released from below. It's moving now." And then he's like, "Ding, ding, 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 ding," because dragons like shiny things. So that's why he came up to me. The dragon was pulling him to me, and he was like playing with the shiny thing. And then all of a sudden, he was like, ding, 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 ding. He's standing on some powerful shit. He goes to sit back down, and he's like, he's trying to find himself for a moment. And anyways, what am I saying? Well, that's what they are. They are 10-strand DNA. My mission is to activate your 12-strand DNA, and then your 24-strand DNA, then your 36, and then your 48. Through the 48 Stargates that I work with, which are the highest vibration Stargates. They're all about the birthing system aligned to the child of light. Sweet, sweet dear ones, just a lot of stuff, okay? Just bear with me. Okay. And so the 10-strand DNA is what was being manipulated by the beings who are 10-strand, draconian codes, whatever, Archon, Anunnaki, there's all kinds of names, but anyway, assholes, if you want to say another name. And then they do what they do. trap, and enslave, utilizing the draconian system. Now, there are only a handful, there are not many draconians left inside this planet, and they were not from this planet.
No.
This was our home. They came here from the North Star because they got booted out. They couldn't live there anymore because the vibration's too high. You see? And they're about to leave this place because it's getting too high. Too hot in here for them. Right? Too hot for their blood. Right? So the codes were put into the certain families of the European our fair-skinned brothers and sisters, that unbeknownst to them, because they were at the Garden of Eden. Yeah, Adam and Eve lying right there, getting the one over, getting tossed around, putting things in him. There's plenty of stories about it. Now, they are the ones that were controlling the money because they are dastardly. They're fucking assholes, right? That's just it. They're assholes. Evil, whatever you want to say. But they're just, I mean, even crocodiles will eat their young. It's nature. Okay, well, let's just keep it to their own tribe instead of everybody else's, right?
Yeah.
Right? So that's okay. You want to have that, then you just can continue eating your own. You've got plenty of you, so go off and do that. And so we are undoing their codes from the sky. The Draconian, Gregorian. I announced a few weeks ago, the clock tower has fallen. The Roman clock tower has fallen. Ping, dink. Means time is now stopped. Time is now eternal. Time is now infinite. There are no months, no days, no hours, no minutes, no such fucking thing. No years. It's just the seasons of love. Seasons of love. And we can mark that by the different feelings of love that we have. That's Lemurian systems. There's a whole lot of that. Okay, got a lot of that to show you. Okay, but this is for now. I'm just putting stuff in here, so I want to trigger you. I want you to either say, "Oh, this guy's full of shit," or "I need to take a look at it." Either way, you're all sweet, sweet dear ones. You're all innocent. So let there be light. And then the child's innocent words are, "Yes, I can." So I'm asking you to do it. I'm saying do it. You can do it. I'll help. I'll help. Huh?
So Huna, when you say if they want to look at it, so let's say they're resonating with you, which I'm sure many will be, then what would the next step be? What would they do?
If you're curious, go to my channel, Huna Flash TV on YouTube. I have a lot of free videos, credible information there, a lot of interviews, okay, with some very prominent people, including Roseanne Barr, who I sealed as a Huna. She's a Huna, okay, and she's a rabbi, by the way, and she really wanted it. And this took place once she got sealed. She fucking became famous again. 2 months before she got famous again, she was sealed, and she said to me, "Oh, Huna, this is incredible. I don't know what the fuck I'm gonna do. Everybody's like hates me and blah blah blah." Then said, "You ready for this?" I said, "I want this." So I concealed it. Then she got famous again. Look at her. She's just flying now, isn't she? That's a Huna. Now,
Wow.
sweet deal. Oh, I can tell you a lot. But there's videos they're going to learn. I have course, the Dragon Master's course. Learn the command and control of your emotions so you can bring in the powerful energy, right? You don't need to go running around going, and letting the dragon ride you. No, you ride the dragon, okay? Now, so there's that. And then we have the Hunas. Other Hunas now are delivering certain parts of all the programming under their sovereign websites, like the Lemurian birth charts. When you learn what your birth chart, what your birth sign is in Lemurian, fucking incredible, man. People are full. We're booked up, dude. We're booked up like crazy. People sessions all day long, every day. I could do 7 days, but I'm not going to do 7 days. I want to go. Fuck that.
You need a day of rest.
I know. I need a day in the water. I go to the beach down the road here, so I'm going to get in the water. But seriously, people are taking these all on. To go to quantumnavigator.earth. You go to firelightcontinuum.earth. That's flc.earth. Lemurian birth chart reading, Lemurian oracle. It'll take you into the future and past. Start pulling in that story for you under the knowledge and wisdom of Lemuria. These people that are doing this are dragon masters. They are I would say mine, but they're the Hunas. I love them. I'd say mine, my babies. But they are incredible, like dragon masters. They share. They're incredible practitioners. Okay. We got a bunch of them now because they're all graduating. They graduate June every year. Got a big crew graduating this coming year. I'm excited. And then they go around the world, do their thing. They take what's been shared and they expand it. That's how we're doing it. But yeah, there's more needed, and I'm doing more. We're doing more. We're on a fucking roll right now because it's been needed. It's needed. That's why we're on a roll. People are asking. They've said, okay, I can understand consciously and my light getting out of that system, but where the fuck am I going to go? Where am I going, Huna? Where am I going? Okay, come over here. I got somewhere for you to go. Here, have a look at this. Remember this? Remember you? Remember how you were? Remember that? Boom. And they just like, whew, gravitate to it like a mosquito to a buzzing light. Pew, electrical. Okay. Wow. Moth to the flame.
It all started with the seals, with that source light that we all felt that Huna helped us to realize that we have within us. And we could feel that frequency coming out. And yes, there's a number of Hunas. Tamahake's doing the birth charts. They're fabulous because it brings in your spirits and it connects all the spirits and the seasons with you. You're not looking at the constellations as much as you're looking at the spirit animal that's coming through. But what Huna has been doing, and he had mentioned when he was in Mount Sinai, how these one individual stepped on the Kotahara and how he was transformed and the undoing of him. It's magical. It's what it is. It's remembering of our essence, of our spirit, of our energies, our frequencies.
I know how to handle these 10-strand DNA, guys. I know how to handle them perfectly. I know who they are. I know how to handle these 10-strand DNA assholes. We got tools. We got stuff for you. Help you. That's why I'm here.
I have a shiny thing.
It's not just Maori. But you have to understand, Joe, it's not Maori. It's beyond Maori. You know what Maori means? Maori means children of innocence or purity or original people. Okay, that's what Maori means. Now, we can't be that just us. It must be you also, right? You're Maori. Well, even the Maori will get mad at me for you can't tell them that they're Maori. We don't have that consensus yet, and we decided that we're Maori. And shut up. Wow. Fucking get over yourself for a minute. Bring it in. We're talking about unification. You want to talk about kotahitanga oneness? Yeah, because these guys, even if you say that, you don't know. One lifetime they were Maori. How do you know he was the elder of your chief before you fucking entered this lifetime? You don't remember.
Yeah.
I was a Viking king. I was Olaf the Great. Fucking killed everybody. I went to the Isle of Man to be accountable, to atone. I was many kings. I fucking atoned for it. That's why I can walk where I walk. I decided, okay, I'm accountable. Fuck it, I'm accountable. All right, my bad. Shit. You know, I accept that. Now there's too many Maoris that don't want to accept that. That's part of the problem. I'm trying to say, you know, but because everybody's Maori. And then the real Maoris go, oh, you're not Maori. You must be something else. You're trying to tell them that they're Maori. It's just fuck, man.
Well, I think we've given the...
one more question.
Okay, because we're trying to keep this right around...
Only because you had mentioned Tartaria briefly earlier, and I know a lot of our audience members, if we didn't ask for clarification, would probably get a little uptight. So what do you have to say about Tartaria?
10-strand DNA.
That's it?
Not really. But that was enough. There's a little more to it. But if I say to you 10-strand DNA, then you're talking about, you know, the time of the Jesuits when and even before the Jesuits, long ago, there are many Tatarias. There are many moments of Tataria. The same that there are many moments of Mu. 3 or 4 civilizations of Mu, a few civilizations of Tataria that spread across the world. Yeah, some of these buildings and structures and symbols have been there for hundreds, if not thousands of years. Okay, and they were like the pyramids. They were written over. Okay, written over at a time of learning and lesson and wisdom being shared at the time of Tataria and the time of Atlantean. There was some wonderful things came from it for society, and we learned some of that stuff. Okay, yeah, but then there was also some stuff that it just fucking didn't need to be there. We learned a lesson so long ago from Tara, for crying out loud. We learned from Tara. And we had to learn again from Maya. Then we had to learn again from Sophia. And fuck me, Gaia. That was, I would probably say, the most, I don't want to say the most devastating, but pretty fucking bad, man. Hiroshima, Nagasaki. Fucking, are you kidding me? But not to mention that even in the earlier planets, we had nuclear wars as well. But Gaia wasn't any, Gaia was another lesson for us. Tataria was in Gaia, right? Tataria was in the evolution of the 26, 20, whatever, the rotation, thousands of years in the galactic cycle. And so, yeah, it was there. And some of the lineage had to be brought back in. Some of the codes had to be brought back in because some of the civilizations, some of the lineages got damaged and fractured so much that help was needed by other star nations. So there was another Adam and Eve. There was another Garden of Eden to introduce codes. And all the way up to even the modern times of the Mayans, well, not that modern, but the Mayans, the Aztecs, they needed help. The Olmecs needed help, and the beings from Andromeda and Pleiades had to come in and help. Didn't create humans. They helped to heal and return the blueprint codes of at least a minimum 12-strand DNA. If it wasn't interfered with. Of course, there was some of that.
Of course.
Now, there's a few that talk about being 2 or maybe 3 Adam and Eve and Edens. Oh, fuck, there were many. Wuhan. That's another one, right? What are they doing? mRNA, right? mRNA, right? Oh, that's fucking Adam and Eve, man. That's the Garden of Eden right there. The snaky fucking 10-strand DNA getting in there, fucking it all up again, trying to. They won't succeed because they're going to die up, and there is technology. We are doing the reversal. So as much as they are doing things, we are working as well with the undoing codes into the land, the water, the sky. You know that you can affect memory, the cellular level of water. So we're always going to say to you, drink the water. I'm always going to say that to you because I program water for you to drink. I point it. I 0 point water. Our Hunas do ceremonies, water ceremonies. The Fijian grandmothers do water ceremonies. Indigenous people do water ceremonies because they're returning the water to blueprint. Drink the fucking water when they give it to you. Excuse me. I'm swearing a lot, ain't I?
Yeah, no, it's kind of on brand with our channel.
Well, yeah, we're pretty relaxed around here. I think our
I'm
viewers
just having fun.
Making a point.
Well, kind of in closing, what do you anticipate will be the experience that we're going to have over the next 6 months to a year? I mean, you had mentioned this year is kind of the big year. Well, I mean, do you want to? Yeah, do you want to get more specific with that, perhaps?
Your intel on the currency reevaluation, is it up to date?
We have so much intel that we don't know what to believe anymore.
Okay, so
The
I was
Iraqis.
in 10 years ago. I'm involved with the Chinese elders, the dragon families, and the Ring of Fire, because my cousin was the heir of the Red Dragons before he was assassinated.
Oh wow!
He was half Maori and half Marcos. His sister, which I didn't know he had a sister, but this is Fernando Marcos's daughter. This is not Imelda's daughter. This is his daughter. She still lives, and she came to see me. She became a Huna, and they are the ones that own the gold a certain amount of gold that was pulled out of the Vatican. So here's the thing. I was in Switzerland to pull the financial system apart. I did ceremonies there to support the heir of the Red Dragon family as he was trying to open humanitarian accounts for the humanitarian projects for humanity. He wasn't going with the currencies. He was selling gold. He managed to open one account which got hijacked by, I can tell you, and I know. And then he was assassinated. He called me 2 years before that to help him in the spiritual world, to help him get from Hong Kong to Saudi Arabia to all the different kings. And so I did spiritual work, very powerful, high level, high vibration work on 3 dimensions simultaneously, with a system that operates simultaneously on 3 levels to affect lower management, middle management, and upper management within the financial system. Had it all mapped out. Fucking thing was gangster, man. That system was gangster. I kicked the shit out of it. He did it. He got that account, and then he got hijacked, right? Well, we're like, oh, fuck, he's not even on the planet anymore. A few years go by, then I get a call from I found out his sister. So his sister's now the heir. She's the queen. Her name, Huna is Maku. Huna became Maku. So I told her, I don't want to know. You show up and you come stand in front of me before we fucking do anything together. Because you need to help me and the elders in China. He said that I need to come and visit you. I said, but before you come, okay, you got to bring another guy with you. Bring your guy with you. I want to see him. So she brings a manager with him from the elders that accounts, and he takes care of her. And they come to, I told them where to go. Meet me on Cozumel Island, on the island of the goddess. We're going to do ceremony there. We did it. We did all the things. We verified it. She kept her word, right? Because this woman cannot go anywhere in the world. Trust me, she cannot go anywhere. Right? She's one of the most sought after women to assassinate. So, wow, she was protected, right? The channel was open for her to come to me, do the thing, and then go. Now, I'm working with her on their council, and so I'm involved in the currencies today through the work that had been done to return the gold back to the Treasury, the U.S. Treasury. Right, so we can have the gold asset-backed currency, so we can have that backed up by, commodities, gold, whatever, right? And switch over. That switch is supposed to be taking place this week. Your ATMs are going to find brand new rainbow notes in those ATMs coming this month. Yeah.
Wow.
It's true.
Wow.
It's absolutely true. Take a look at your
I heard that from Tarot by Janine about it, I think almost 2 years ago. And I love Janine. But after that, I just quit watching because I was just like, well, I don't see them.
No, because, you can't see it. You're not allowed to, but now you can because there's articles everywhere. And you can go, there's certain banks that are now getting ready for this. We have people that go to the banks that are all your top tier 1 banks, at least 3 or 4 of them. They've fired everybody. They've fired their retail staff. There's 60,000 bank workers that have been fired. Why? Because they're now switching to wealth management so they can take in the exchange of currencies that are about to happen. And BRICS is part of it. That's part of the quantum financial system, but it's disguised as a brick. It's just disguised, right? It's disguised. Yeah. Okay.
That does make sense.
Yeah, I've been saying that for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys know. So you know. So when this hits, okay, now here's one other thing. I went to the Vatican one of the times. I've been there many times, but I went there and I was doing ceremony during COVID. Yeah, I didn't have no mask. I had my dragon staff. Oops. All my staff with me on my back, and I'm walking up to this obelisk. I'm laughing, and there's cops everywhere, and they're just looking at me, and I'm just walking up, stand there, and I have 2 other Hunas with me. Okay, we're going to do ceremony now. We're going to crack the fuck out of this place. So we do a cracking ceremony. I'm talking like this because I'm having fun.
Gangsta.
It's gangster, baby. So we do a cracking ceremony, right? It's called the ceremony of the infinite fractal. Okay? It works at the atomic level. And there's 3 paths, three configurations, and to pass through them several times. So we do the configuration, and this guy comes over and goes, hey, what are you doing? We can see you doing a triangle and a circle. What do you think you're doing? You can't do that here. And he's talking Italian. And I'm not speaking that. I said, oh yeah. So I start speaking Maori. And he goes, oh, you're from, then my Huna goes, oh, she speaks Italian. She goes, oh no, he's New Zealand. And they go, oh, All Blacks. Oh, rugby. Oh, you're from, oh, okay. Then they walk away and they stand on the side. They start watching. Thank goodness for the All Blacks. And so I continue doing the ceremony. We crack the heck out of it. And all these people are watching. And it starts raining. And the Huna says to me, what's going to happen? I said, it's going to take our ceremony in the water, take it down underneath in the tunnels and clean the tunnels out.
Wow.
A few months later, who gets the gold out of the tunnels? Trump gets the gold out of the tunnels. Right? 100 miles worth of fucking gold. And this was only a few months after I'd done that ceremony. It's called the cracking. And the place got flooded. Again. That's what I do, I flood shit. I'm serious. People know when flood happened, they go, it was fucking Huna was here.
The Huna.
All the
Wow.
Hunas. Katie too, even with these guys. When they go to do this shit, the fucking place floods, man. Or there's lightning and thunder. Yeah. When it's not meant to be lightning and thunder, it's lightning and thunder.
Yeah.
They know what they're doing. They know
Vegas. We flooded Vegas.
We flooded Vegas.
I remember that story, yeah.
Wow.
Okay, they cracked it open. Okay, I cracked open France too at the obelisk, the place to Concordia, before the fires all started happening. The fucking fire's been crazy. Yeah, usually pulling the shit down, man. Come on, cleaning it out, undoing stuff.
Wow.
Oh, yeah.
I heard a little bit about it, but to hear you tell the story, it kind of hits you in certainly a different way.
Yeah, this has been a great.
Yeah, I hope our audience, please leave comments. It's interesting how few people leave comments, but it's really important. I just want to say two things. One is, since the reset hasn't happened yet, thank you to all of our viewers who are supporting our show through our Stripe link or Patreon. We really appreciate you. And two is, I think we've got to put some feelers out to hear how being a Huna has affected Roseanne Barr. I mean, that might be something that would be nice to tell on our show at some point.
Well, it'd be nice to have her on and we can talk about it. We've been waiting for Roseanne for a while. I think it's time.
So anyway, just putting that out there. But anything you guys want to say in closing? Because we really appreciate Michelle bringing Huna to the show. This is our first time. I know that there's going to be plenty of questions. We're going to have you back at some point. And I mean, we could go on for a couple hours, but on our non-lives, we're trying to keep this a little shorter than a couple hours.
This has been so exciting. And we are living in exciting times right now. And all the work that Huna and the rest of the Hunas are doing, it's just to help restore and get rid of all the confusion, the distortion, and to restore our Matea, which has already been restored, but to move forward. And Huna, thank you. It's always a pleasure being with you. And I just love listening to you. I love speaking with you. And you bring us so much gnosis that we can all share with one another. And we're all the same. So let's just have our family together and work together to improve mankind. And yes, thank you.
Receive the gift so you may give the gift back. Yes, I had a wonderful time. Thank you so much. Sweet, sweet dear one, sweet dearly beloveds. I apologize for my foul language in such serious moments. You understand?
Nah.
Because we're being gangster here, and this is
That's I was going to say.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
We got pirate light. Okay, it's our pirate light energy coming.
Yeah. Well, we come from an Italian heritage. I'm sure there's been plenty of swearing in our.
Well, there always has been. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love.
Well, you two.
There's so much work to be done. You've got to be gangster.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Well, stick around, guys.
Stick around,
yeah. Thanks to the audience. And
thank you, guys.
We'd love to hear about your comments.
Yeah, please leave comments, questions. We're going to put all the links below as usual. And please follow us once again on TikTok, Twitter, or X, our Telegram. And like I said, and Scott says, keep this flattering. But if you see snippets of our show and you want to make a little 1 to 2 minute version of it and share it, please do. I just did that with someone that is talking about the frequency weapons in the film. What is it? The Julia Roberts film that came.
Yeah, the Obama film everyone's talking
Yeah, was it really? But
yeah.
Anyway, it's cool because it has nearly 60,000 views in a couple hours, and I do that to bring people to the show so they can see a small part of it, to then bring them over and see an hour and a half video. So it's important that people do that. So we appreciate any help that we can get. And yeah, the movies they'll leave the world behind. So anyway. Any little bit of sharing this helps, because our goal is to lock arms with each other and get humanity to a point where they can look back and see what's happened, so this never happens again. And that's my whole point.
We're kind of all in this together.
Yeah, we're all in this together. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a good evening. And we'll see these two back at some point very soon. All right. Good night. Take care.